Okay, in this lesson, we're going to look at adding some obstacles to our maze. Okay, now the first thing I want to do is I want to add, because currently in our code, we broadcast a message to start level 2, we broadcast a message to start level 3, we broadcast a message to then say that we've won. To allow the code, what I'm about to do to work, I need to add a message here to broadcast that we are starting lesson 1. Okay, sorry, not lesson 1, level 1. So I'm just going to go to events. I'm just going to go to broadcast. I'm just going to, at the very top, just under when green flag is clicked, I'm going to set new message and I'm just going to set it to level 1. Okay, and the reason is when we add obstacles, we want to be able to hide and show them. And for the obstacle to know when it needs to be hidden or shown, it needs to know or needs to be able to hear the broadcast message so it understands which point of the game we're at. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to add a new sprite for our obstacle. So I'm going to go down to the sprite window and click on the little cat face, click on the little brush. Okay, I'm going to go to costumes, but the color of my wall is this blue color. So what I want to do is I want to be able to grab that color. So to be able to do it, I'm just going to go back to my backdrops again. I'm just going to go to the fill square. I'm going to go to our pipette. I'm going to click on the blue color. I'm then going to go back to the sprite. Okay, this is important. Make sure you're in the sprite, and you'll now see that the color that we're using is now there and available. I'm then going to grab the square and I'm going to set the outline to invisible like we've done on the previous tutorials. So what I want to do is I want to create a blue rectangle and I'm going to put it right into the center of our screen. So I'm just going to snap the point there. Okay, now my rectangle is currently there, but I want it to appear not on level 1, I want it to appear on level 2. So to do that, first of all, I'm going to click on level 2. I'm then going to position it where I want it to be, which is going to be here. Now, I'm just going to stick it up at the top just so you can see where I've put it. Okay, and you'll see why I've put it there in a second. Okay, so it's just going to be there on our second level. So we can see there, level 2. Now the problem is, if we look at level 1 and level 3, it's now in a position where we don't want it to be. So on level, when level 1 is being played, and when level 3 is being played, we want to hide it, and we only want it to appear on level 2. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my sprite. I'm going to change its name because I don't want to call it costume 1. I'm going to call it obstacle, and I'm going to just call it level 2 so we know which level it appears on. Okay, now obviously I'm only adding one obstacle to my game. You might want to add many, so it's good practice to name them so you know which obstacle is which. Okay, so that should name. Why is it not changed its name? Oh, so, and the reason is my fault because I've named it in the wrong place. So I should have put the name here, which I do now. There you go. So now we know what obstacle it is. So now make sure you're still working on that sprite. I'm going to go back to our code window. Okay, and I'm going to add some code now that will make when we start on level 1. Okay, when we're on level 1, let's run our code. Our sprite won't show. It'll only show on level 2, and then on level 3 it will disappear again. So make sure that we are on the obstacle sprite, so you know you select it's got the blue box around it. I'm then going to go to events, and I want to have when I receive, okay, and I'm going to change it to say level 1, okay, and then what I want it to do when I receive level 1 is I want it to hide. So I'm going to go to looks, I'm going to scroll down, find where it says hide, and I'm going to drop it in. Now it's going to be the same on level 3 and the winner screen. So I'm going to copy this twice, so duplicate, change this to level 3, because remember we want it to show on level 2. I'm then going to right click and duplicate, and I'm going to set it to winner, because we don't want it to be on the winner screen either. And then I'm just going to go back to events again. So when I receive level 2, we want our obstacle to show. So I'm going to go to looks, scroll down, show. Okay, I'm then going to go to control, go to forever, and I'm then going to change it to motion, and I'm going to make it turn. Now there are other ones that you could do here. There's glide, okay, there's change, there's put in a random position. You can have a little bit of a play around and see what you can get your obstacles to do, but I'm going to go for the simple turning obstacle. So I'm going to drop it into my forever loop. But if I just play it now on my thing, and I'm just going to cheat just so you can see it, and if I drop it down, so we're going to go on to the second level. At the moment it's spinning far too fast. Okay, so what I need to do is I want to slow it down. So to do that, I just stop my code again. Go back to here. I'm going to set it to 1 degree, so turn 1 degrees instead of 15. And now let's have a look at the game. So we've got here, when I receive level 1, hide. When I receive level 3, hide. When I receive winner, hide. When I receive level 2, show. And then spin around forever. So let's have a see how it works out. So on the first one, okay, it's not there, it's not spinning, which is good. If we go on to our second one, we can now see that our obstacle is now spinning. Okay, and if I crash into it, hopefully it'll let me crash into it. If I crash into it now, it will take me back to the start again. So we know the obstacle's doing, but the trick is as if we go on to the end, if we go on to the end, does it reset? So let's have a look now. Yes, so we can see when we go on to level 3, the obstacle is now gone. Now I would recommend for your game adding in more than one obstacle and trying to have an obstacle on every level. Just use exactly the same, using broadcasts to hide and to show the obstacles as you move through your game.